Well, hello and welcome to the FOMO Creators Show. I am your host, Making Sang, first name May King, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, normally on the FOMO Creators Show, I have a fabulous guest. We talk about what they do. We talk about how they create FOMO, how they create FOMO for their clients, and then we give them a bit of a FOMO promo. But today, I thought that I would give a huge shout out to the incredible Dani Wallace. Dani Wallace is known as the Queen Bee Dani. She had an incredible conference last week called Be Inspired, and I had the pleasure and privilege of being the FOMO creator for Dani, and I just wanted to walk through why her conference was so epic, so amazing, and why you need to be there next time. Now, let's talk a little bit about the FOMO Creator Show, because normally what I do is ask how we met. And this was a wonderful story because, in fact, it was the incredible Andrew and Pete who recommended me to Dani. So what happened was my Instagram account and Facebook account, unfortunately, was hacked. Boo-hoo. I cried a lot. But I had some fabulous friends and support around me, including Andrew and Pete. And they actually did a quick Instagram story and said, our friend May King, her account's been hacked. She's now under FOMO Creator. Please do give her a follow. She's amazing. She's created FOMO for us since 2019. Words to that effect. Basically, I'm brilliant. And Dani saw that Instagram story and asked Andrew and Pete if she could contact me directly. And they said, yeah, absolutely. And so that's how we met. So I just wanted to give, a huge thank you to Andrew and Pete. Now, for those of you who haven't heard of Andrew and Pete before, have you been living under a rock? They have an incredible conference in June called Atomicon. I'm going to be creating FOMO for them there. And we've got the amazing Tim Lewis saying hello to us. He's a wonderful friend of the show, and he was a guest of FOMO Creator a couple of weeks ago, talking about how to create FOMO for your videos. So if you haven't seen that episode, do go back and check that out. Hi, Tim. Lovely to see you. So we're just talking about Atomicon, and in June, I'm going to be creating FOMO for them there. Dani Wallace is actually going to be speaking there as well. So do go and catch that. And if you haven't got your ticket for that, then I do recommend that you do. Now, this is a slightly different show, as I mentioned, because we're going to be talking about Dani Wallace's Be Inspired, which is the incredible conference that I had the pleasure of creating FOMO for last week. Once she contacted me in the DMs, as recommended by Andrew and Pete, I then had a wonderful chat with her, and it was incredible. She is so full of energy, so full of vibrancy. It was amazing. And so after talking through what I can do for her as a FOMO creator, I then talked about how I do talks as well about how to generate FOMO. And so as a result of that, I ended up creating FOMO for her, and I was also the closing keynote for her as well. We've got a wonderful comment from Tim saying that Atomicon is a great event too, and it really is. And if you haven't got your tickets, you definitely need to go and check that out. Go and buy your ticket, and we'll see you there. Tim's going to be there, and I'm going to be there too. So going back to Be Inspired, I was the closing keynote on day one, and I talked about the ABCs of creating FOMO. So I created a new talk, especially for Be Inspired, and that talk is actually now available on SlideShare. So I'll just pop in a link there for you. So if you go to slideshare.net/makingsang/presentations, you'll see a list of all of the talks that I've delivered for a gazillion years. Most of my talks are up there, including this one. So we talked about A, which is authentic authority, B for behind the scenes, and C for create content for the lurkers. So do go and grab that presentation if you want to know more on how you can create FOMO. So we're going to be talking about Be Inspired, and what I absolutely love about Dani's events last week is that she does an incredible job of creating pre-FOMO. Pre-FOMO is the next segment that we're going to be talking about. And pre-FOMO is really about generating the buzz and excitement for your event. If you want to sell out, if you want to sell your tickets for your conference, then you definitely need to generate that buzz and excitement and let people know why you need to come to this event. And Dani was so good at doing this. Oh my God, she was so good. Now, I've been hired to create pre-FOMO for conferences before, but Dani didn't need my help. She was just so good at doing this. So I just wanted to highlight some of the epic things that she did. So she lives primarily on Instagram, but she is on all the other socials as well, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter as well. But I noticed her on her Instagram stories, and she talked a lot in the lead up to the event. She talked a lot about what to expect, where you can get tickets, what you're going to see, who you're going to see. So that's on the left-hand side of the story. On the right-hand side there is just an Instagram grid of some of the speakers that we were to expect. Now, I love Dani because she incorporates the business, professional, and human side of her as well. And she holds no bars. She's amazing. She's so human, so wonderful, such a fabulous human. And you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it's just a little dedication to her mum on Mother's Day there as well, which is wonderful. So do go and follow Dani on the Queen Bee Dani, because you will definitely learn a lot from her social media content. But in going back to Be Inspired, she shines the spotlight on the incredible speakers that were going to be speaking at the event, including Charlotte Lewington, whom I had the pleasure of hanging out with, Alexandra Worsley, Nick Davis, Sari Taylor. Oh my gosh. And when I heard the speakers, they were so incredible, so good at their job, so good at what they do, the impact that they're making on people. And some of them were speaking for the first time. It was absolutely amazing. Now, when it comes to creating pre-FOMO, buzz and excitement for yourself at a conference, as I said, Dani does this so well. If you're a speaker, if you're an exhibitor, even if you're attending a conference, you should be generating pre-FOMO for yourself as well. And so I wanted to showcase a little bit of what I did. Because I was a speaker, I wanted to let people know what I was speaking about. And so I'm not the brightest kid on the block, though. Because I didn't realise that I was the closing keynote on day one, and I didn't maximise that story. But anyway, it doesn't matter. What's done is done, and I just wanted to showcase some of the stories that I did. Now, some of you may know that I am an Instagrammer, but I'm also a tweeter, I'm a LinkedIner, I do the odd TikTok now and again, and I have these shows on YouTube as well. So this was Instagram stories that I concentrated on, and so the story on the left was me making a little bit of a silly joke, saying, Miss, I finished my presentation slides, and putting a link there to Be Inspired, just in case anybody wanted to buy a last minute ticket. Now, because I was curious about this conference, I didn't want to get an affiliate link or anything like that, so I just shared the link regardless, and just wanted to meet people as well. So Tim was saying, you're a tweeter, not a fighter. That is exactly right. So the the person in the middle is the fabulous Alex J. Lynham. Alex J, AJ, also known as AJ as well. And when I did a bit of a stalky pants on Dani's Instagram stories, I saw that Alex also was going to be a speaker. And I thought, oh, brilliant. So I had a bit of a stalky pants on their profile and on their Instagram posts. And I found an incredible Instagram post where they had spoken to 700 young people, and it was really inspirational, and so inspirational that I asked permission if I could incorporate that post into my talk, and so I did exactly that. Alex J is Beyond the Binary 4 on Instagram, and definitely go and follow them and hear their story. Now on the right hand side is me mucking around. I was practicing my talk in my hotel room the night before, and we were asked what was our talk, what was our walk on music. And so I wanted to come on with a lot of energy because I'm the closing keynote, end of the day. I just wanted to sort of G people up again. And so I thought I'd bring my pom-poms and dance to a cover version of Mama Cass's song. I can't remember the song now. Make Your Own Kind of Music. That's what it is. And it was covered by Paloma Faith. That's right. So there's me practicing my pom-poms and practicing my walk on and just having a bit of fun there. And I got a few reactions from that Instagram story. So, pre-FOMO is really important in the lead up to a conference. If you are attending, if you're speaking, if you're sponsoring, if you're exhibiting, if you're the conference organizer, of course, pre-FOMO is really important to get people buzzed and excited, get people to buy the last minute tickets, but also let people know that you are there so that people, if they want to get in touch with you beforehand, then they can do. So that's why pre-FOMO is really important. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas on why, in the lead up to the event, a lot of conference organizers do this really well, generating pre-FOMO. But as I say, I have been hired to create pre-FOMO for conferences in the past by interviewing them, speakers, exhibitors, sponsors, and so on, because it really helps people to understand what they're going to expect, what they're going to get when they are at the conference. Now, I've got a couple of comments here. Tim was asking who was my favourite speaker at the event. Oh, Tim, that's an unfair question. Isn't that like choosing your favourite child? I mean, I was blown away with all the speakers, and I'm not just saying that because all the speakers had an incredible story. Some of them faced incredible adversity, but how they overcome it was amazing. But they also had some great lessons for us to learn as well. So as well as creating FOMO by creating these Instagram stories, I was also writing a few notes as well. All right then, Tim, I'm going to pick my favourite child. I don't even have children. I'm a pet parent. I'm a little bit biased because the closing keynote for day 2, Tim, was Maura Jackson. And she made me laugh so hard. It was incredible. And because she's from Bolton, I grew up in Bolton. I think I was consciously biased there, but she was amazing. But she taught some incredible lessons about Native Americans. Sometimes they may have like a headdress with the feathers, but it's not exclusive to men. It was also for women as well. And the feathers were an indicator of how many battles you've gone through. And so she drew the analogy of how we have all faced battles in our lives. And so it's, time for us to put a feather in our cap, as it were. Remember those moments because they really help to shape who we are today. So it's a great question. I hope that answers your question there, Tim. Now we've got another fabulous person popping up, the wonderful Howard from Life by Stills. Now, if you want some incredible photographs, you need to contact Howard, based in London. He's an incredible guy, wonderful human. Tim and I had the pleasure of meeting him just after the pandemic, actually. I came down to London. We all hung out together. So hello, Howard Howie, as he's known. Life by Stills. Go and connect with him on Instagram, Twitter, as well, and LinkedIn, and learn about his craft and hire him as well. He does a lot of sort of Comic-Con type events as well, which is pretty cool, and takes photographs, but he also does incredible photography too. So I thought I'd give him a bit of a shout out. So we talked about pre-FOMO and how it's really important for a conference to generate that pre-FOMO, hire someone to create that pre-FOMO if you want to. So the next segment is liveFOMO, of course. This is my favourite bit, because this is where at a conference, at a festival, at a digital challenge, at a book launch, at a product launch, service launch, whatever it is you are doing, okay, liveFOMO is where it's at, and you need someone dedicated to generate this buzz and excitement for you. You really do. Now, I'm not just saying this because it's my job. I'm not just saying this because I want you to hire me. I'm saying this because it's really, really important. I see so many conferences that have missed the opportunity to sell out their next event. And so hiring a FOMO creator, a live FOMO creator, can really help you to do that. I actually remember it was in 2018, I think it was. I was speaking in London. And one of the attendees absolutely loved my talk. Of course she did, because I'm amazing. But she came up to me and she wanted to recommend me to a conference that she was exhibiting at. Brilliant. So I went through email, got in touch with the conference organizer, and they came back to me and said, it's okay, thanks. We don't need a FOMO creator. We've got a social media manager, thanks. Now, what I should have done really is gone back to her and I said, well, there's actually a big difference between social media management and FOMO creator, but I wasn't brave enough to contest her. I just let it go. That's my own mistake to learn, my own lesson to learn. Anyway, I did hear a story about that conference that they were really pleased with themselves because they tweeted 5 times that day. 5 times. A tweet disappears in about 20 minutes. That's a lifespan of a tweet. It's probably even less now that Musk has taken over. So, you know, my personal best is 1,376 tweets across 2 days. It reached 31 million people. And for Atomicon, for Andrew and Pete, I did over 1,200 tweets. That trended on the same day as International Women's Day. And that reached 28 million people. Now, that's really important because people will see these tweets a few days afterwards. And that's why live FOMO is so important. If you just tweet or create 5 Instagram stories or 5 LinkedIn posts, it's not enough. You need to do more. You need someone dedicated to do that for you. Obviously, you need to hire the best, me. But I can also teach people. I can teach social media managers on how to become FOMO creators as well. So I just really want to emphasize that you need someone dedicated, because if you get someone to help on the day, they will get pulled in to do all sorts of other things that need to happen on the day. So, you know, Dani had the good sense of hiring a FOMO creator, i.e. me, the best FOMO creator, to generate that content while she's doing her amazing stuff. And let's talk about the amazing stuff that she's done, shall we? You know, so on the day, I took over Dani's account, pretended to be Dani, as it were. And, you know, there's a lot of things that people don't do at conferences. And I know what it's like going to a conference. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not an extrovert. I'm actually an ambivert, or possibly more introvert as I'm getting older. And it's overwhelming going to a conference and going to an event that you've never been to before. You just don't know where to go. So this particular event was at Old Trafford. I mean, Man United football ground. It's incredible. It's huge. Where do you go? So as a content creator, as a FOMO creator, I created an Instagram story to let people know that when you come through these doors, these are the steps you're going to go to, past registration, etc. Now, the fabulous lady in the middle there is the incredible Lindsay McGlone. She is the stage manager for Be Inspired, and she did some incredible stuff as well. She created some live FOMO in Dani's Facebook group. Now, the Facebook group was full of the attendees that were going to the conference, and what she did was she also did a quick Facebook live, just to let people know that when you come to the ground, these are the doors that you come through, etc. So, great minds think alike. She was just making sure that all the attendees were being looked after. So live FOMO is really important, to let people know what people are missing out on, but also let the attendees know what's in store, really help them guide through the process. Now, on the right-hand side there, you've got fabulous Andrew and Pete, and I was set up just in front of them, just at the event when people were walking through, and we had some incredible music that was happening. So I was just dancing away there, and Andrew and Pete just captured that moment. Now, what Dani is incredible at is she loves to share Instagram stories that other people have created, and so true to form, because she does that on her own account. When I took over the account, I did exactly the same. So I shared Andrew and Pete's Instagram story, not because it was about me, but it's because it's an extension of Dani's branding. She does it for her audience, so that's how why I was doing it as well. And as part of FOMO creating live FOMO, I also capture the speakers as well, and their pivotal, their amazing pieces of information that they share. So we've got the fabulous Beth Thompson on the left-hand side there, Dare copywriting, and I got a quote there. Sometimes all it takes is 20 seconds of insane courage. It's a fabulous, fabulous quote from her talk. It was amazing. And in fact, when I did some interviews with some of the attendees, a couple of the attendees said that Beth was actually their favourite speaker, the one that inspired them most. So that was incredible. Then, of course, at a conference, you've got exhibitors, haven't you? So I like to interview exhibitors, show them a bit more publicity as well. So we've got the fabulous Sophie from Beachpreneurs launching a program that day. She has generated a six-figure business, location free with her husband. So she likes going on the beach, so that's where she does her business, on the beach. How cool is that? That sounded quite wrong, doing her business on the beach. You know what I mean? But I interviewed her, and also interviewed a couple of other exhibitors as well on the right-hand side. So we've got Emily from Hope and Mallows. She has some incredible treats, sweet treats that you could buy, which is great. When you're feeling you need a bit of a sugar rush, she was there to provide them for you. And Helen from Creative Castle, she has this glitter, which is eco-friendly, which is amazing. So she has a business that, just lights up the room, face painting and glitter and all sorts of things. So do go and follow her on Creative Castle as well. So that was part of what I was doing as part of live FOMO. Now we've got a few comments here. Howard just saying, thanks for the love. Do go and follow him. I promise you, his photographs are amazing. And we've got Tim there. They did their 100 promotional words in those 5 tweets. We've got the fabulous Christelle as well saying hello, who's just joined. So Tim and Christelle have a fabulous show called Oh No, Not Another Live Show. do go and check that show out because they have some incredible guests that they talk to. Really, really interesting, fabulous guests that you'll learn from and be inspired by. And just as a bit of a promo for me, I was interviewed by them on International Women's Day. So go and check that that interview out if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. So we've talked about pre-FOMO before the event. We talked about live FOMO during the event. We obviously need to talk about post-FOMO. And we've got the fabulous Mark, who said he's listening rather than producing today. So those of you who are regular watchers of my show, Mark, or from Pocket Video School, is normally the one pushing my buttons. He's normally the one producing this show and bringing all the comments and the banners and all the rest of it. But I thought I'd give him a day off today, seeing as it was just me on the show. And thanks for listening in, Mark. Really appreciate it. Mark was also the guy who's responsible for the introduction music at the start and putting a few of the videos together. So do go and check him out as well if you want some of your fantastic videos to be done. We've got an amazing Christelle again saying, oh no, yesterday's show was incredible. Yes, making. Love our conversations with you. That's great. So yeah, do go and check out Oh No, Not Another Live show. Christelle and Tim really complement each other, and they have some incredible guests worldwide on their show, and you'll definitely learn from them. And Tim's very kindly shared a link there of the interview. So, go and check that out if you can. All right, now let's go back to post-FOMO then. So post-FOMO, this is after the event. So, you've spent a lot of time trying to sell your conference, and hopefully it's sold out. Brilliant. Live FOMO is on the day of the conference. Don't fall asleep and think, oh, thank goodness that it's the day of the conference, because the best time to sell your conference, your next event, is at this one. Okay, that's what Andrew and Pete said, and I quoted them in my talk. And so it's really important to capture all that live FOMO footage so that you can use it to sell your tickets for next event. And if you do really well, you could really sell out, I promise you. But in post FOMO, so after the conference, let's bring that up. Post FOMO. It's really important to let people know what they missed out on. It's also important to remind people who were there what fabulous moments that they had. And again, Dani is incredible at doing this. So throughout this today, I've been talking about Be Inspired, an incredible conference of which I created FOMO for last week. I took over Dani's account during the 2 days of the conference so that I can create FOMO for her. But post FOMO, the account, Dani's account, was handed back to her. So this is all stuff that I've seen on her account, and she's amazing. She really likes to lift the spirits and lift the people who are in the room. She's an out and out extrovert, but she's an extrovert with no ego, and I absolutely love that. And so when people are talking about Be Inspired, she'll share it on her account. When people are sharing on Facebook or on LinkedIn, she'll comment on it. And it's actually her commenting, it's actually her sharing, which is wonderful. So, it shows a lot of ideas on, the kind of conference that you might have missed out on, or if you were there, it shows the wonderful memories that you have. And Tim has a wonderful comment there. I think more people should dress as animals on stage. Yes, Tim. Definitely. And it just brings so much joy to the room. Dani has incredible costumes that she brings up. She's dressed up as a giraffe, as a bee, because it's part of her branding as well. And she's got an incredible team around her. The lady in the middle, Jojo, from Creative Sass, no E. Go and follow her on Instagram. Is amazing. Oh my goodness. She warmed up the crowd in the lead up before Dani came on stage, and she was just a joy, absolute joy. And I would love to chat to her in a bit more detail, because she and I are definitely on the same wavelength. She is so wonderful. And then, of course, post-FOMO, you want to talk about your next event. But if you are like Dani, you probably have multiple streams of income, you probably help people in lots of different ways, then you need to talk about it. And that's what Dani does. So, for some of the people who were speaking at Be Inspired, they went through a coaching program from Dani to learn about how to become a public speaker. And so she was wanting to let people know of her next challenge, her next cohort, so that if you want to invest in yourself and become a public speaker, then you can do exactly the same. So she talked about her Be Heard boot camp. And so if you want to find out more, definitely follow the Queen Bee Dani, and you can find out more details and get get enrolled. Best thing is that it's actually free as well. So, if you want to be a public speaker, it's the best way for you to really catapult your business. Then I would definitely recommend you, consider going on that boot camp to learn how to become a better speaker. Now, with post-FOMO, then, part of my service is that I love to share some of the content that I created for my client onto my own platforms as well. And this gives, my clients another opportunity to promote themselves and also hopefully help to sell more tickets to the conference. Now, in the past, where I've created FOMO for clients, I've created pre-FOMO. I've definitely helped people to sell tickets for their event, and post FOMO as well. People have actually DM'd me and asked me about the event, and then hopefully I've sort of converted them or definitely pushed them in the right direction. So this is just a bit of information on how I repurpose, to use Amy Wood's fabulous words, a content 10x, by the way, Amy Woods, in repurposing your content. So basically what that means is that I did a whole bunch of interviews last week on behalf of Be Inspired, and so I decided to reshare those interviews onto my platforms to give Dani more exposure for her conference as well. I just want to give a shout out to these incredible people. So we've got Ryan Park on the left hand side. We had the greatest fun, so much laughter, and he actually teaches men about mental health, but backed with science. And it's quite controversial. I'm not going to give you any more details than that, because I want to give you FOMO. Do connect with Ryan Park, seriously, because it actually, in talking to him, it challenged me in the way that I talk with my partner, Steve. And it was really, really fascinating. So he's a TEDx speaker, and he does a lot of talks as well on mental health, but backed by science. I just want to emphasize that. In the middle, at the top there, we've got stage manager extraordinaire, Lindsay McGlone, and as I say, she's an incredible stage manager. She also teaches social media as well, and she is an activist, incredible human. So definitely go and check her out. Rolling with Lindsay, no G, on Instagram. And then we've got the amazing Faye Edwards at the bottom there, and she is amazing because I actually met her in Edinburgh last year, and when she spotted me in doing my thing at Be Inspired, she came over and said, "Oh, May King, hi, how are you?" We had a bit of a chat, and I interviewed her and asked her who she was inspired by, and so we did a quick interview. Now, she is amazing because she is a positivity coach, and she has as I read from my teleprompter, the Positivity Psychology Coaching Academy. Now, we all need a bit of positivity in our lives, in our business, to help our relationships, and so she teaches people a lot about that. And she also has a wonderful cottage down in Cornwall, and I'm a bit proper excited because I'm actually going to switch off with Steve, and we're going to go down there, do a little bit of writing, but switch off and celebrate my birthday, his birthday rather, with him down in Cornwall. And Faye very kindly showed me a link to her cottage, and I said, yes, I want in on that. So I'll definitely be sharing more stories and posts about that when the time comes. On the right-hand side, we've got the incredible Rupinder Kaur from Asian Women Mean Business. Love her stuff, love her passion, her enthusiasm, and her drive to give Asian women a voice. She is amazing. In response to Cornwall, Tim says Cornwall is lovely. Yes, it really is. So definitely connect with Faye if you're thinking of having a staycation. You definitely need to go and check out her cottages. They are amazing, really are. Going back to Rupinder then, she is on a mission to help give Asian women a voice. So if you want to, if you want to grow your business, then she's definitely a person to connect with. We had an incredible conversation, and I look forward to connecting with her as well. So she also talked about who she was inspired by, which was amazing. But you can definitely go and connect with her. Asian Women Mean Business. Now, she was inspired by the amazing Sam Squire, and I shared his interview on Instagram, and I'll be sharing it across all the socials as well. Young chap, incredible guy, and he DJ'd at the after party as well, which was amazing. So that's post FOMO, folks. I just want to share a little video to explain the next segment of the show, and this is Mark Orr's fabulous work. Back to the FOMO! So you can see it's a favourite film of mine and Steve's, Back to the Future there. I've actually got a t-shirt that has Back to the FOMO, but rather than Michael J. Fox, is actually my face imposed on it, and I've got Back to the FOMO on top rather than Back to the Future. So anyway, little joke that I share myself, laughing at my own jokes. So in this segment, normally with my guests, I ask them who are their clients, how did they create FOMO for their clients, and going back to the incredible Dani, I just want to share how she does exactly that. Now, I'm so excited to tell you that because she is epic at creating pre-FOMO, because she hired me for liveFOMO, her conference in September is sold out. Isn't that amazing? Now, of course, it's not just my incredible work that helped to sell out. It's all the incredible work that she does as well. All the attendees in the room wanted to come back, and some of them have come back. Some of them have been to be inspired since the first day that she ran the conference. So she's got an amazing loyal fan base, which is incredible. She's got several programs, as I've said. Be Heard. So if you want to learn how to become a public speaker, definitely check her out on that particular program. If you want to have a little taster, I believe she's got a challenge, which is the Be Heard Bootcamp. So definitely go and have a look at that. And so, FOMO works. It does. That's just it. It's just simple as, and you need someone dedicated to do that for you, as I said, and hopefully this has demonstrated how FOMO can definitely help. And if I can just share a quick slide with you to explain how I have created a FOMO and who are my clients when it comes to a FOMO. Conferences and festivals are my big ones that I love doing it for. So Andrew and Pete, you can see on the right hand side, this is their first conference, and I've created FOMO for each and every one of their conferences ever since, including their virtual epic experience during the pandemic. Festivals, bottom left hand corner, you've got Aspen Music Festival there. Award ceremonies. So BNI Staffordshire had an awards ceremony, and I interviewed some of the winners and nominees. There was a whole lot of fun there. If you're exhibiting at a trade show, I also create FOMO for you there. So Agora Pulse is one of my clients. You can see me with the orange hat on the left-hand side there. They actually asked me to interview specific people and specific exhibitors, and so I did exactly that. And this is one of the people that I interviewed. So that's how I create FOMO, and also online events, online challenges, online conferences. I also do that too. So I'm hosting live from a platform called StreamYard, and I also have the pleasure of working with StreamYard, interviewing the incredible YouTuber Daniel Batal there. And then we've got the incredible, last and certainly not least, the incredible Nikki Hutchison, who does various challenges to help you with your business. And then if you want to learn more or invest in yourself, to buy her program, then you can definitely do that. And so I've created FOMO for her challenges, and I've invested in myself, and Nikki has definitely helped me in my business, and I know that she can help you too. Now, I interviewed Nikki Hutchison in last week, so that's last week's episode, how you can create FOMO for your challenge and for your membership. So do go and check that out if you've missed that episode. Now, at the end of the FOMO Creator Show, I tend to talk about FOMO promo, and I invite my guests to tell me and the viewers what they're working on at the moment, what are they promoting at the moment. So if you would permit me to, I'll do a little bit of FOMO promo for myself. I can't even say the right thing. Which is, I have a little link here. If you want to know how I can create FOMO for you, hopefully I've given you a lot of ideas. My FOMO Creator Show, which has been running for 10, 12 episodes now, hopefully I've given you lots of different ideas from all various experts that I've spoken to. Some of them you've heard from today, like Tim Lewis. I've mentioned Andrew and Nikki Hutchison. I've interviewed as well. We've got lots of experts that you can learn from. But if you're still unsure about how I can create FOMO for you, or if you wanted me to teach you how to create FOMO or teach one of your team how to create FOMO, I can definitely do that. So if you just wanted a quick chat to learn more about how I can help you, then if you go to this link, FOMOcreator.social/20minute/FOMO, now it's slightly different to other calendar platforms because I'm just trialing this out at the moment. When you pop that in, put in your preferred date and time, then I will come back to you to confirm with a link to explain whether we can go on that date. The reason being is there's been a couple of times where people have double booked, or I've accidentally double booked. So it's just, just a double confirmation, really. So if you wanted to chat to me, please do. Or you can connect with me on the DMs, of course, and we can have a chat there. So I hope you enjoyed this broadcast, and I hope it is a little bit different to the show that I do in the past with my guests, as I've mentioned. But I hope you took a lot out of it. Do definitely connect with Dani. Thank you so much for everyone joining me today. Tim Lewis, go and connect with him. Howard Howie, Christelle, definitely connect with those people. And all the people that I mentioned in this show, definitely connect with them. If you wanted to connect with someone, and I was speaking a little bit quickly, then DM me, and I will definitely I'll definitely connect you with them. Oh, and Mark, who normally pushes my buttons, who's listening today, definitely connect with him too. So the last piece is the end credits, of which Tim Lewis created this one. The Back to the FOMO one was created by the fabulous Mark. So I'm going to hit the credits. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you next week on the FOMO Creator Show. I'm your host, Making Sang, first name Making. Thank you. See you next week.